Hello, welcome to Die Rollin. I'm the ever excitable Adam, and today I'm here to tell you my thoughts on Stranger Things Upside Down by Simon. Call me or not, or come on, depending on how you pronounce that. So if you've not seen my videos on this, check them out. I've got gameplay of the first season and the second season. This game comes with 2 seasons. Seasons makes you think this is going to be, you're going to have like chapters, and it's potentially a campaign game. This is not a campaign game. This is 2 sides of a board and a different kind of mechanics. Same kind of game, but different mechanics depending on what you're doing. So when Simon mentioned they were going to be doing a Stranger Things game, I was really excited because I played a lot of their Zombicide games. You can see some of them behind me here. And I quite enjoy their kind of campaign games. They're not all, they're a bit hit and miss, I think. Massive Darkness was great. Massive Darkness 2, also really cool. Their Night of the Living Dead, some problematic issues, but generally fun games. I quite enjoy Simon games. Big miniatures, kind of fun gameplay. Arcadia Quest being one of my favourite games still. So when they mentioned, like I say, when they mentioned they were doing a Stranger Things game, I was expecting Zombicide Stranger Things. Not necessarily zombies and stuff, but you having miniatures moving around like Hawkins High School, for instance, or, different locations and, just kind of moving around that way. So when they actually turned out it was more of a pandemic style board game, and pandemic's not really I guess it's not really a good kind of comparison. I just mean a different kind of board game in the sense that it was like a top down, you're moving to different locations. And trying to reduce stacks with cards and stuff. What I saw wasn't what I expected. I was disappointed. I honestly was hoping for a particular type of game which they didn't deliver. And when they mentioned they were going to do an Army of the Dead game, another Netflix kind of joint with them, I was thinking Zombicide as well with that. Now I'm wondering, is this going to be the same kind of thing? Is it going to be like a top down, go to locations, get rid of tokens and stuff. So initial disappointment aside, I've really enjoyed this. I thought this was a really good strategy game. It's been really fun to play this, to kind of remember some of those earlier seasons, the first and second season obviously, and I feel like they've captured the theme of it really well. There is going to be disappointment coming to this from people who want to play 11. You can play 11. I mentioned in my unboxing, I don't think you can play 11 because there isn't a dashboard in there, but you can play 11. There is a QR code that comes in the game which you can scan, which will take you to the Simon webpage and give you a link to the dashboard for 11, which you have to create print off and create yourself and stuff. However, the disappointing thing about that dashboard is its exact same power as Nancy, so you basically get to move one of the foes at the start of your turn. And when you play with 11, you're not allowed to use any of the 11 powers. Now, the 11 powers are, making the game a lot easier. So I imagine maybe they did it in this specific way to try to make a harder mode. So you can play as 11, but you can't use the 11 powers, so it is going to be a harder game. However, her power being the same as Nancy has really annoyed me because, it's 11. She is very good at fighting monsters. So why didn't they do something like, she can ignore 1 token from a tile stack or remove the highest number from a tile stack once it's revealed? It just kind of seems a bit lazy. It feels like they've just kind of gone, well, we've got to use her somehow, so let's just throw her in at some point. So that's a bit disappointing. Also, other characters, Jonathan not being a playable character, Steve not being a playable character, that's going to annoy some people because everyone has fond memories and a fond place in their heart for these characters. So not having representation by and actually be able to control them, that's a bit disappointing. However, I do feel that they are represented in the actual game themselves. I mean, Steve Harrington in the first season, he wasn't really like a protagonist. He was a bit of an antagonist. So him not being playable, that kind of makes sense, I guess. And yeah, I do feel, like I say, all the characters I do feel are represented in some way. 11, even though you can't in the base game play with her, she is represented really well by the 11 powers. I feel like even though she's not a playable character in the base game, like I say, she has representation there. You do feel like, oh, this is thematic. This makes sense. You know, you're kind of helping her, and she's helping you back with doing her power things. So yeah, so characters is something that's going to be a bit hit and miss for people. I'm wondering whether they're going to do expansions for this. So you know, like another miniature box with the other characters and other dashboards. Potentially, that's something they might do. It's Simon, so they will churn out as many expansions as they can. This does kind of feel very self-contained, though. It doesn't feel like there's going to be a lot of support for this game, but I could be wrong. Longevity for this, so you've got two sides of the boards. You've got Season 1, you've got Season 2. Season 1 is you trying to travel to the Upside Down to save Will, and then the other side of the board is you trying to close the gate after you've saved Will. Season 2 is harder than Season 1, in my honest opinion. And they do both feel quite different. And what's quite nice about it is it does feel like you've got the theme of those individual seasons in an actual board game, which is quite cool. And I've got the Stranger Things Attack of the Mind Flayer game just over in the corner there, and that's kind of Season 3. So I just need a Season 4 like versus Vecna, and I've got like I can just play, you know, to my heart's content of some Stranger Things. But longevity for this game, I'm not sure how much you're going to get out of this game once you've completed both seasons. You can obviously, like I played both seasons with 3 different characters, so you can chop and change. If you've got friends coming over, this, you know, I can see people wanting to play this game. Stranger Things is out there in the general kind of masses kind of mind, so everyone knows what Stranger Things is, even if they've not seen it. So I think a lot of people would be, you know, interested, you know, to try it out. So I think there is a bit of longevity in the fact that you can play this with different people, you can play it with different characters, and it's a competent game. What's really interesting about this is I was kind of worried that this would be a cash grab drab game, but actually this isn't. It does feel like there's actually been some work put into this. The gameplay feels very balanced. The action cards where you're actually choosing, you know, risk and reward, whether you want to try and kind of get more points towards clearing those stacks, but you've obviously got the more kind of alert symbols. You can try and risk that, or you can try and play it safe. So I feel there is quite a bit of strategy involved in the game. And the event deck as well is pretty interesting. And like I say, themed to the seasons as well. So you do have, you know, those patrol cards from Hawkins Labs going around in the first season. And in the second season, you've got, you know, Will's a spy. So you've got that kind of in there as well. So all in all, I think it's really a really well thought out game. It does feel strategic. It does feel like there is replay in this. However, I don't know how much replay I will get out of this personally. I think if this is definitely a game you saw in a board game cafe, I would definitely say play this because it's a fun, well thought out game. But it's not a campaign game. It's not going to take you from, you know, the initial kind of starting point of Stranger Things all the way through to, you know, each episode. You're not going to have that kind of thing in there. But it's a competent game. It's a fun game, and it is much better than I expected. What could have potentially just been a cash grab. Like I say, thought's been put into it. The components are lovely in there. The artwork is really nice. It's very thematic. The mechanics and the theme kind of work really well. And I mentioned Pandemic earlier because when I first saw that it was just going to different locations and there were like stacks in there, I thought, oh, it's Pandemic. You're just going to have to go there, clear some things out. And yeah, I was wrong. I do believe Rob Davio made this, and obviously he has some experience with Pandemic. So I kind of thought maybe there's, with that name attached, maybe this is going to be, you know, just a reskin of Pandemic or something. But it wasn't. It's a fun game in its own right. So I guess, is there anything else I wanted to say about it? I don't believe so. So is this a buy, a play, or avoid from Die Rollin? Well, this is definitely a play. I would say, like I say, if you see this in a board game cafe, definitely get this out, play it, it's going to be fun. If you're a huge fan of Stranger Things, this is a buy though, because you will get a lot out of this from the fact that I can imagine people would like to play this a few times with different characters if you are a big Stranger Things fan. But is this a game I'd have in if I could only have 100 board games? Probably not. It would be, it'd be a good game to play, but not necessarily one I feel like you need to have in a collection of 100 board games. So yeah, it's a play from Die Rollin. I have enjoyed my time with this. I'm looking forward to playing this with other people. So I guess this is really a solo review because I've not played this with other people. This is just my thoughts on solo. So I guess I'll put that in the title, solo thoughts maybe. And we will get a game of this on the channel with more than just me, so we can see how it kind of, how the dynamics change and how the gameplay changes when you've got more than one person playing it. Anyway, that's pretty much it. It's a play if you're looking for a solo game. Yeah, I'm not necessarily think it's a buy for a solo player. But hey, there we go. Anyway, I've been the ever excitable Adam. If you've enjoyed this content, then please like and subscribe to our various different social medias. Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and TikTok. And also, if there's any thoughts you have in this game, any questions you have in this game, put them in the comments below and I will get back to you on those. Until next time, guys, stay safe or die rolling.